Walaikum salam. Thank you for having me here, and thank you, the Muslim for Peace, the organization that who recognize what we do. The thing it has inspired us doing this. That when us means I could not do this without my help, without help of my wife, another co-founder, Ali Bhuiyan, and the owner of Khan Baba is Jawad Yunus. This two people. So I could not do this without their help. So what inspired about few years ago that we did a block party in an affluent neighborhood where I live, and then in that block party that we invited guests, all my neighbors that come in and just mingle with one another. So as people came in there, they are saying, oh, initially they were like, I don't have to bring food. Or I said, no, you don't have to bring food, just come in there. I know most of my neighbors, because knowing most of the neighbors, they say, oh, I can get to meet other people. And then I expected 10, 15, 20 people. It ended up about 40 people showed up. But at the end of the day, you know, what I have seen, the neighbors not only get to know one another, they found so many things common with us. And food brings us that coming closer and free. When I saw that and that, hey, neighbors liked what we were doing, and there are some neighbors who was going through food insecurity, and one of the story that today what we shared with a bigger audience, that one of the neighbors, he was going through foreclosure of his house. He did not come before it got darker. So he went whenever it got a little darker, and then he was slowly coming in that way. He thought nobody will recognize that he came with empty hand. So once he came in, mingled, then I know him also. I said, hey, how are you doing? And stuff. They came in, man, we missed you and all this. And he happened to be a comedian. So I know that he's a public comedian. I said, oh, you could miss your time, share us some jokes and stuff. And which he did. He enjoyed the food. At the end of the day, that before he left, we made sure that he takes enough food. Or we asked everybody take the food. We saw that he's taking extra food, and I told him that, hey, take as much as you can. And he felt more kind of thankful that something I noticed. I did not notice anything. It was just intentional, unintentionally. I was telling us, oh, this guy really like our food. Take more, take more. Yeah. And then he ended up taking more. But later I found that he's going through some of the food insecurity. That one of the cause. The other cause that what inspired us to do this organization, where I have interracial marriage. My wife is a Caucasian from here. And they cannot imagine what people do just for food all day. Back home in Bangladesh, I've seen people will work all day just for food. I see that happening here too. So I wanted my kids to learn that they have a privileged life, and they are people, they can make a difference. So during weekend, what I see that they're spending time with the electronics. Then I thought, you know what can I do to help them? And that's when I thought maybe I can just talk to some people, just try to see if we can help them coming together, just help out the community. And that's when at Khan Baba, when I told him, hey, I want to bring some young kids, including my kids. Can we just do this? And there is, of course, that's how it's born.
Thank you for sharing. It obviously sounds like you're extremely passionate about this. What are your hopes for your organization going forward in the future? Where do you hope to take it?
Yep. Today, you can see in my things, 1 million meal challenge in America. People forget 1 out of 7 people go sleep hungry every day. 1 out of 7. So it could be our neighbor, which I did not know before. Then I said, if 1 out of 7 people can go through hungry, and the state of New Jersey has over 7 million people, what will it take us to feed at least one day all the people in New Jersey? So our challenge is 1 million challenge. We want to achieve that number as soon as possible. Today we have delivered so far as of yesterday 11,000 meal. And our next is a lot of people coming in. They say, can I start a chapter in New York, in Chicago. I have people reached out to me from Australia, want to start a chapter with urban food. I did not think that it would go that far. So what we're doing, our next, we're saying, okay, we will reach that number so quickly, and we are going our number, and we will help as many people we could do with the platform, a platform where we can reach out the business owner, where a lot of business have extra meals, extra food. A lot of business also has after party foods are get wasted. So what we do today, we started bringing those food, and in Kanbaba we process the meal and we make the complete meal, and then we deliver it next day. And the township, we work with the township, the social services. Social services say, hey, we do not have this kind of food, that food. So this year, what I found, we ended up getting the amount of food that they could not get before, because I have social media. I use the technology, as I mentioned to you. My background is technologist, so I use social media. I told them, hey, our township need this food. So overnight, more than 500 cans I found, and people just brought it in. And the township could not imagine that much food. And they said, oh, what are we going to do? I said, you told me you needed food. So what we see, that we are seeing every township, we can engage the young people to make a difference in this world. And at the same time, they can, one day, means we all come from a background that if not them, their grandparents came from somewhere. This country established from immigrant. So why can't we do something first, help our neighbors? If we have abundant, don't forget where we come from. Yes. So that's what. So next, what we are doing, we're in Pakistan, we are in Gujarat, we are starting in the urban food, our chapter, international chapter, this before Ramadan. So we have already, the people started working. Our goal is 1,000 meal every day. So make sure that that 1,000 meal goes to urban places where people in Ramadan, they do not have to worry about food. So then we are looking into some organizations, hey, we do education. So we're trying to connect them with the education. As you can see at the back of our card, we do financial. So what we do, we teach people financial literacy. Anybody can save $1 a day. So those are the things we're teaching them. Hey, whatever you do, don't forget bad times. And those are literacy, those are education. We are partnering with Muslim for organization. It's one of the key things is like close the gap, education. So that's also something we are finding. A lot of more organization, how can we reach one another, forget our differences, find a common cause.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Thank you. Inshallah, I really hope that you meet your goals this year. And as a Pakistani, thank you for working in Pakistan as well. My last question to you is what's your advice to younger people who want to also start organizations that are, I want to make a difference in this world, and what would you say? How can they get started?
Yep. Thank you so much in asking that. I think that reminds me of my own two teenagers. They all said, Papa, this is for you, this is not for me. And I remember when I tell them that come to take a look at where we come from. I took my kids about 6 years ago. After that, they promised they'll never go to Bangladesh. I said, why? Because you can. But for young people like that, I understand they don't have any tie back home.
Right.
But what we can do for a young generation like yourself and others who can think, an organization like this, if we can set up to come them and the neighbor, help your neighbors. And once you help the neighbors, you make a difference. And then once you make a difference, then you might say, you know what? I can do something more. So we challenge them, think today and what you can do in thinking forward. So nobody forgets where they come from. You will never forget your root. But one of the key things I see in young generation, everybody, I don't have time or I don't have the money. So we figured if we can help you with the money part, then you will always find the time. So with the young generation, I know so many young people come to me and say, how did you do it? I am retired today. So if you look at me, I'm retired today. I said, hey, how much money you need? That I can show you a path that you do not have to worry about money. But if you have the money, money doesn't buy happiness. But I can help you to come up with money problem. What makes you happy? If not food, education. If not education, it's the green environment. If not green environment, what causes you, it ticks you. So young people like you, we create causes like this. So now with urban food, I have more than 300 volunteers in every single age working today in parallel, that we create an organization called urbanhood.org. You'll see that it's coming up even today. You do urbanhood.org, you'll see this is all about financial education. It's all about stock market. It's all about, I want to have a short term, I want a long term. I have all 300, over 300 people creating something. Someday they're going to say it's all set up for this organization. Teaching people how to manage your money, how to become financial free. If we make it, we help you to become financial free, help a cause. If it's not urban food, whatever takes them, that you can join. Right?
Thank you very much, Mr. Mushi.
Thank you so much.